Rasmus Højlund's move to Manchester United this summer was as straightforward as can be. But did you know that Paris Saint Germain tried to spoil it for the Red Devils by placing a bid of their own? Now, you would expect Højlund to at least consider signing for PSG, since they've got a lot of money. But the Danish star blatantly turned his back on the Paris club in favour of a move to England. There are many possible reasons for Højlund's decision, and I'm sure PSG's dysfunctional state is one of them. Yeah, things may look gravy for PSG from the outside, but the truth is, Paris Saint Germain were in serious turmoil over the summer. I mean, where do we even begin? Kylian Mbappe, who is arguably PSG's best player, was frozen out after he refused to sign a new contract. And this caused manager Luis Enrique to be at loggerheads with Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Oh, let's not forget the king of controversy himself, Neymar, whose future with the club was in doubt until he eventually made the move to the Saudi Arabian League. To add to that, Marco Verratti was also rumoured to be on his way out, amongst other troubling news at the club. With this in mind, Rasmus Højlund knew that moving to Paris only meant diving into a pool filled with in-house problems. Now, the case is very different at Manchester United, where coach Erik ten Hag is building a team which has a perfect blend of both young players and veterans. To his credit, he guided United to a top 4 finish last season, which means that by signing for the Devils, Højlund still gets the chance to play Champions League football. With Ten Hag's ambition and style of play clearly spelt out, Rasmus Højlund knew exactly what to expect by moving to Old Trafford. The same cannot be said of PSG, a club that barely has any player loyalty and is riddled with uncertainty and internal turmoil. That's certainly not a place where a young and ambitious player like Højlund would want to go, as the move would have done more harm than good to his upward moving career. Honestly, the only thing Højlund would have to worry about at Manchester United was the takeover rumours flying around at the time. But even if the Glazers relinquished power at Old Trafford, the environment would still be stable enough for Højlund to concentrate on his game. Let's not forget that Højlund has just one season of top 5 league football to his credit, and a calm and conducive environment such as the one Manchester United provides would be perfect. But it isn't just the environment at Old Trafford that made Højlund dump PSG. There's also the matter of fitting into the team and becoming an important member of it. Højlund is just 20 years old, but even at that, a place in United's starting lineup is more than guaranteed. This has already been proven, as he became United's first-choice striker upon his arrival. Sure, giving a barely experienced 20-year-old striker such a responsibility comes with all sorts of pressure. However, this is the good kind of pressure that can only make Højlund a better player. The good news is, United still have Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial to turn to, just in case Højlund doesn't pick up as fast as United would expect. To add to that, Erik ten Hag has a reputation of grooming young players and bringing out the best in them, and this is something Højlund can greatly benefit from. This wouldn't be the case if he made the move to PSG, because as we all know, the Paris side isn't known for grooming young players and turning them into superstars. Rather, they are more interested in signing big-name players who are already tested and trusted. Sure, Højlund isn't the biggest name in football at the moment, so for PSG to want him says a lot about how talented he is. Still, if he moved to Paris, there's no way in the world he'd keep Mbappe or Neymar on the bench. We've seen how other world-class strikers have been treated at PSG. Mauro Icardi and Edinson Cavani are 2 prime examples of top finishers who played second fiddle to Neymar and Mbappe. Now, who says Højlund's case would be any different? He's not as established as Icardi or Cavani, and I don't see why the PSG manager would do him any special favours. If Højlund had signed for PSG, then he'd just be another high-earning player in a team that currently has no direction or concrete plans for the near future. And for a young prospect such as himself, a move to Paris would have been disastrous. So far, Højlund has managed to blend into the Manchester United squad and has already become one of the team's regular features. Of course, his Old Trafford spell didn't take off with a bang, but he's certainly getting the hang of how football is played in the English Premier League, and it shouldn't take too long before he starts scoring for fun. As long as he keeps getting featured in Manchester United's matches, then the best of him will finally be revealed. Really, Højlund wouldn't need more than a season to make his mark at United, but with PSG, considering how much he would have been sidelined, well, it would take an eternity before anyone notices that such a player even exists. Now, it's true that Paris is a beautiful city, and that PSG is one of the richest clubs in the world, but as far as football is concerned, the French Ligue 1 is nowhere near the English Premier League. No disrespect to the French, but Marseille, Lyon, Monaco, Nice, and even PSG aren't on the same level as Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool. And while there are a handful of stars in the French League One, the English Premier League can boast of having the best players in the world. But that's not all, as the EPL also attracts far more viewers than the League One can ever dream of. Argue all you want, but a Newcastle vs West Ham match gets more attention than a Lyon vs Monaco game. Simply put, not too many people care about the French League One. On the other hand, fans from all over the world are heavily invested in the English Premier League. Højlund knows this, and for a player his age, getting good exposure is what he needs right now. Of course, you would have used Erling Haaland as a benchmark. While the Norwegian was at Borussia Dortmund, he was banging in just as many goals as he's currently doing for Manchester City. However, he didn't enjoy as much exposure as he's getting at the moment. Right now, Haaland is being tipped as a potential Ballon d'Or winner, and besides his skills, this can be attributed to the newfound superstar status he's enjoying in England. Can you imagine if Kylian Mbappe was playing for a team like Manchester City? Considering all that the Frenchman has done in football, he probably would have won the Ballon d'Or by now. Unfortunately, the French league isn't as prestigious as the EPL, and considering that it's a league being dominated by just one club, you wouldn't be wrong to call it weak. Therefore, if Højlund opted to play for PSG instead of Manchester United, then he'll always be considered as an average player, no matter how many goals he scores. The competition in the French League One and the EPL just isn't the same, and there's certainly no jersey in the French league that's as prestigious as a Manchester United shirt. Speaking of which, did you know that Rasmus Højlund is a long-time Manchester United supporter? Well, he is, and it has been his dream to play for the club one day. The opportunity finally presented itself when United came calling this past summer, and there was no way he was going to blow the chance to play for the Red Devils in favour of PSG. Manchester United is one of the biggest football clubs in the world, and it would be an honour for any player to put on a United shirt. They've had some of the best players in the world too. I'm talking about the likes of Eric Cantona, David Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Sir Bobby Charlton, and of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh yes, how can we forget about Peter Schmeichel, who just happens to be Højlund's countryman? Being from Denmark, Schmeichel is definitely one of Højlund's football heroes, and what a great honour it would be to play for the same club as his idol. Now, if Højlund had opted to play for PSG, his dream of lacing up his boots for the Red Devils might have been over, for now at least. But now that he's at United, then he has the chance to tell the ultimate fairy tale story. A boyhood Manchester United fan signs with the club, wears the iconic number 9 jersey, and fires the team to domestic and continental titles. Surely, the dream doesn't get bigger than that. So guys, do you think Rasmus Højlund made the right decision by signing for Manchester United instead of PSG? Let's have your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because there's more awesome football content where this came from. See you in the next one.